Why hello there, fellow technicians. Rodamon here. Thank you for tuning in to Flotsam. Episode 5. The radio station is online and searching for specialists. Alright, does this reach? It does. So the power tool maker allows us to make power tools, which allows us to salvage like rotors, pumps, and plasma tools. Right now I'm going to only make 2 pumps and 2 plasma power tools, which makes 4, because, you know, 2, yeah. And that means that we can start to work towards upgrading our torque thruster. We only have 1 lubricant, and I also want to make sure that I'm getting the stuff for the lubricant too. And all of that is biogas. All of that is basically get seaweed. So we have we need a lot of seaweed, essentially, for biogas. So there'll be a real push to pull seaweed up. Hey, and there we go. Our own radio station. We're picking up a new signal. They're an engineer that can help with weight capacity. Show me. So here it is. I'm going to pause for a second. What specialist to go for? We've got an engineer to help us with weight. With that in mind, we're only about 40% of our max weight, so that might not be super helpful. Farmer or electrician. So talking about the bonuses, farmer will allow us to, with a lot of water, be able to produce our own crops, our own potatoes, corn, flour, or wheat on our island. And the electrician allows us to electrify a lot of the things that are currently using fuels, so that instead of having to burn wood for water, burn wood for grilling, burn wood for, you know, gas processing and all that, we'll just be able to use electricity. So those are the benefits of these. And then the engineer, the benefit is it allows us to manage our town's weight. So we can choose one of these. There's actually a wheel here that allows us to pick whoever we want. But the ones that they offered initially, I think are, besides the architect is pretty important as well. Maybe I'll include the architect as well. The architect allows you to move built things around without having to destroy them for partial refunds and then rebuild them. So it allows you to just like move things around. Then there's the botanist, which is mostly for town beauty. The chemist, which is later on processing the, and bird keeper and aquaculturist again is for food. All right, we're gonna hit up the electrician. Ouch! Ow! Hello? Anyone out there? This is Watley, currently trapped inside an extremely overactive power plant. Yo, that's at me. Copy that. This is Radtown. We've got your location, rescue inbound. I could kiss an electric eel right now. Please bring protective gloves or we'll both be fried. And they are over here. Okay. So the current priority is make a lot of biogas and rescue the electrician. So if we open up the research tree, we can actually see what they offer. The electrician allows us to get the electric desalinator, the electric scrapsmith, the electric grill, the electric bioboiler, which massively reduces our need for fuel. The advanced electricity, which allows us to make an advanced electrocrafter. Solar power. I think that's it, which is quite a lot. Whereas like the, so that's the immediate benefits. Glitch, you leveled up. Let's give you crafting. Alright, I have 3 more gas bags. Sawmill. And drying rack. The other thing I can do with the planks is upgrade some of our plastic walkways to wooden ones to help deal with the town's aesthetics, because the town is sitting at like rather ugly. Just teeter-tottering and ugly. And this will help a bit with that. I should probably fish the flounder too while I'm out here. Not all the corner pieces can be upgraded without annoyance. Not that it's a big deal. There we go. So now we have a mostly wooden planks walkway around our town. And that raised our aesthetics up by 19. And didn't cost any weight, which I think is more important. Whereas, like, adding another plaza would have cost me weight. So it's a pretty weight-efficient way of going about it. So we've got power tools and pumps, and it would be wise for me to hit up to try to get a rotor with my power tools. So maybe like head to this truck here or this windmill. I'm gonna head to the windmill once I get a little bit more seaweed. I'm just waiting for the flounder to be fished up. In terms of current research, what did you guys vote for? Oh, manual power. Right. Okay, that's all the flounder. Perfect. Now, I had mentioned the idea of getting seaweed growers. So I'm going to go with 2 seaweed growers back here. Why is that blocked? Hang on, don't do this then. In the interest of symmetry. Let's see. Wood walkway. Oh, it's because it's like walking and our actual spot was blocked. Okay, there we go. So 2 seaweed growers back off the rear end of our boat. And unlike regular farming, seaweed growers don't actually require an input of water because it's like sitting in the ocean, so you just use ocean water for it. So it's a pretty water efficient way of getting biomass. And what it does is it takes 1 seaweed and just like makes more seaweed out of the seaweed that you input. And it's a self-perpetuating system, so once you prime it with some seaweed, it's set and forget for the most part. And we are done making ropes, so now all the seaweed can become either meals or biomass. And given that we have no firewood, I'm getting guess biomass. Speaking of firewood, let's go cut down some trees. Dead trees are going to be a little easier. Ooh, there's a restaurant. That will help. I am low on metals as well. So I'm not going to be able to cut down a lot of trees until I make more metals, because we're out of the metals to make axes. So I'm still working on fabrication. It takes a long time. We still want biogas. We still want lubricants. We have the fish oil for the remaining lubricants. So I need 4 more lubricants to lubricant up the Townheart so that we can move a little bit cheaper. But that's going to require us to get more biogas. And really everything comes down to I need like a lot more fuel firewood. That's been the recurring theme. So it's going to make a big effort to stock up on an immense amount of wood so that I'm stop like wood starving my my community here, because we have a lot of foods now. We just don't have a lot of fuels. So fuel is the big bottleneck. And there's a lot of dead trees in this biome, so if I hit up these dead trees, we can remedy the problem. Also, I'd like to get over to the wind turbine as well, because there's the possibility of getting the turbine for the engine heart speed upgrade there. Good, we have 2 lube now. Samurai, thank you for the resub. Well, other than a low amount of water, which is being fixed now, we're looking pretty good. I have wet wood, but none of them in the drying rack. Raise the priority. It's not a building that has a priority meter. So it's one of those, they get to it when they get to it. I am completely out of floaters, though. So I have no plastic. I desperately need some plastic. So we'll hit up some of these bottles as we head to the wind turbine. That's why I don't have a lot more gas bags, because of the lack of plastic. One of the issues that we're having is our bio boiler is like using up a lot of our fuels to make the stuff we have crafted up to a minimum. Once we hit the minimums that we've designated, our need for fuel will decrease a lot. Plus, getting the electrician will help a bunch as well. So we did get manual power. What do you want next? Air filtration, not radio comms. Hydraulics. Wood power, unbottling, or food cleaning. Here's the loop. The Townheart now has a reduced energy movement cost. Awesome. Thank you, Fabricator. So the next big one is the torque thruster. The torque thruster requires hydraulics for the pedal, more electronics for the electronics, and then a rotor, which we will salvage with power tools. So I've already made the power tools. We just need to find the rotor. I've only happened upon one opportunity, but I'm pretty sure the wind turbine I'm heading towards will have a rotor in it. If it doesn't, we'll find a different one. So taking a look, there's limits on... So there's not limits on power, the pumps and power tools yet, but I just put them on. I don't want any lubricant, so I'll put a limit of 0. And yeah, it looks about right. Oops, wrong way. One word of advice. When you happen upon a new crop for the first time, don't use it up. Because things like wheat is rather rare to find, and you're going to want it stockpiled for later. So don't just, like, turn all the wheat into bio-waste. Because when you want to start a wheat farm, if you've bio-wasted all your wheat, you're screwed. Because there's not a lot of wheat farms, there's not a lot of corn. Whereas potatoes, on the other hand, are kind of like everywhere. So I wouldn't necessarily waste the potatoes, because they're a little bit more precious than... there's a rotor. Perfect. Potatoes are a little bit more precious than, like, you know, seaweed, because you can get seaweed rather easily. But for wheat and corn, like, leave it alone. And tomatoes, leave it alone. Awesome. So we just salvaged a rotor off of the wind turbine up here. And that's going to allow us to make the torque thruster once we get the pedal and the electronics. And the pedal is hydraulic research. It's a tie here. I'm going to be the tiebreaker. I'm going to get air filtration. And speaking of potatoes, let's go get some. I noticed we had some more gas bags. Ooh. Well, we're doing well so far. It will be really nice to have an electrified network so that we can rely a lot less on burnt fuel. And to that end, making more of an effort to go out to the electrician would be wise. So I'm gonna, once I get the potatoes in this area, I'm gonna beeline to rescue the electrician. And they are, where is Watley? Rescue Watley, where are you? Watley, are you hella far from me? Alright. Rather than looking like that. Track quest. You are this way? Yeah, okay, there you are. Alright, 2 more people leveled up. Rayback for research, and a door for crafting. We also have 1 gas bag, so we'll make a fishing chair lighter. Oh, 3 more gas bags. A battery and a fishing chair. Will gas bags be redundant if you refunded if you demolish the building? Not that I know of, no. So like, this battery was just gas bagged, and if I demolish it, I get metal plate, electronics, and a battery back. I don't get the gas bags. Alright, filtration just got done, which allows us to improve our houses. My 2 cents, hydraulics is probably the most important research project in this list, but you're welcome to disagree with me if you'd like. It would probably be wise for us to get the electronics from this building here, the electric shop, and maybe the restaurant, hitting this area up for some plastics as well, and then maybe also get the leaking water tower and the metal from the derelict truck. So I'm trying to head towards Watley, but I don't want to necessarily neglect all the resources between us and them. Now our wooden planks are pretty good right now, so I'm just going to cut all of our dry wood into fuel, because we have just a ridiculous demand for fuel. Now hydraulics lead to another massive amount of projects, as you can see, but a lot of these projects are, a lot of the projects that it leads to are like specialist projects, but hydraulics itself will be pretty handy. Alright, let's do the water tower and the truck first. I'm gonna go with the water tower first, because we are just that desperate for water. Drain. Cut. And salvage. Lisk. You're the salvager, so get going. Oh, much better. Water reserve. No, a little bit better than 2 days left. Now we have 4 days. So I think our bio boiler has probably been the massive drain, one of the massive drains on our wood supply. Just trying to make all the gas bags, plus charcoal and fish oil and compost. It's just a lot. Hydraulics are done. So with hydraulics being done, we can get milling and yummy cooking. And I'm going to want to get the hydraulics press up soon. So milling allows us to turn flour or wheat into flour, so it's actually usable because you don't eat wheat. And then yummy cooking gives us better food, food truck and fryer. If we want to go that route. So the hydraulics press is a super power hungry structure. And for that, we're going to need a little bit more electronics. And then one more metal plate. Ooh, I have a lot of gas bags. All right, let's lighten our storages. And this battery. Cheers. The electronics are, we need electric scrap. Got it. Well, I had wanted to hit up the electronics shop, so I'm still planning on doing that. I'll probably make a pit stop, however, for all the forests, all the trees in this forest, so that I can stock up a lot of firewood, because we're so very out of it. The amount of fish oil and compost got fulfilled completely. So that will be less strain on our wood supply. That's good news, at least. Carbon is the most wood-intensive resource to get. And I believe I had said 10 carbon, so once we get 10 carbon, I think our wood supply will become a little bit more normalized. It has indeed been ridiculous. Alright, wood power. Wood power, of course, is the prerequisite, I'm sure you've noticed, of all of the electrics here. So I hadn't mentioned it, but wood power is a really smart thing to get if we're going for the electrician, because it's the prerequisite for all the electrified stuff. Which is weird to me, because you don't really need wood power for it, but whatever. Okay, our firewood is so much better off now than it was just a moment ago. I'm focusing on it. Because I've been queuing up all of our dry wood to be turned into firewood, because we have a lot of planks already cut. And, yeah, now we're not, like, starving for wood. Which is real good. Come on. Someone go. There we go. Okay. I had wanted to head towards the Electrician. He is this way. I'm also just trying to make sure that I have a little bit of a supply of wet wood, because we have that wood dryer, so I might as well just be using the wood dryer. 24 healthy trees. Bring it on. Our boats are so... Oh, we are pretty close to, like, capacity max. I just realized some of this is just because we have a lot of unprocessed material. But being near capacity max means that I'm gonna be somewhat limited into what I can even make. So I think... trying to get more potatoes so that we can make more nib kebabs might be wise. Because we have a lot of nibblers, but I don't have a means to cook them into nicer meals. So that could be something we could focus on too. Tobis time, thank you for the sub. Welcome. Cheers to you. Oh, I never got the electrics from that. But now it's... What direction was that? Oh, I can still do that. I mean, I'm going to go into the new biome over here first instead. Okay, we're done with the craft. Sweet. And it's a polluted biome, so it's the first time we're going to be dipping into a polluted biome. So just note that. And we've done a lot of weight shaving, which is awesome. We're not that overweight. So we just got wood power researched. I'm right on the border for the new biome. We're pretty close to the Watley, and that's where we're headed. And now that we're done with the fish oil, compost, and carbon, we can basically focus on biogas. Oh, I was sitting on seaweed. My bad. Cheers. So in order to get the hydraulic press, we also need electronics and floaters. And I've been kind of ignoring the plastics. Actually, there hasn't been a lot of opportunity to get plastics. But if I see plastics, I ought to get them, because we're basically out. I could stop at, like, the farm ruins. Oh, here we go. Signs of life. I could stop at the farm ruins to get, like, plastic junk, but it's faster just to fish it up from the ground. Or water, I should say. Definitely not ground. So the new biome has... a whole new subset of resources to exploit. So you've got mushroom groves, you've got polluted fish, etc., etc. And it will be the first time we're heading in there, and you'll be able to see what that entails. Eel-infested power plant. Ow, 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 yee, ouch! Please help! Electric eels made a nest in the turbine intake. They are overcharging the systems. It's a lightning zoo in there. We need protective gloves to get through safely. Hurry! I don't think I can take much more of this. Okay, 2 protective gloves to rescue Watley. We'll gather tinder, and then we'll extract the live electrics. which gives us electric scrap. I'm not going to bother catching the eels just yet. Also, a raffle timer for Watley. Timer's up. Good luck. So as we sit in this polluted water, as you can see, it's kind of purplish. Lisk is getting sick. And there's this sickness pollution meter. And then once you max it out, you get diseased. So spending time in the polluted biomes carries a risk. We're also sitting on a pile of polluted seaweed. Wooza, you pulled me out just in time. This town's got some zing to it. Hate to ask another favor, but getting electroshock generated a hefty appetite. Could I go for a... Wait. You're still cooking with firewood? Sorry, there's no way this puppy keeps up with my appetite, but I can earn my keep. I'll research the blueprints and then we'll wire up an electric grill. Alright, yes. Let's get an electric grill. Are we making... Okay, yeah, and we're making gloves. Good. So we have more protective gloves. We're almost done with everything here? Yeah, I think this is the last run. Cool. Alright, I'm gonna, before we leave this biome, I'm gonna go over to the mushroom forests. The polluted woods. Because I want to forage for mushrooms. I'm not gonna bother with polluted trees, though. Mushrooms are the required ingredient that we'll need in order to get air filters. Air filters is carbon, mushrooms, and expired medicine. So now that we're in the polluted biomes, grabbing mushrooms seems reasonable. So that we can improve our homes for pollution filtering. So if we click on the pollution, Lisk, Watley, and Daedora have a little bit of pollution, having like swam or been in the water or whatever. And the pollution only really goes down when you rest in a house that helps to clean it. Also, I am at my storage max, so we gotta fix that as well, huh? One thing you could do, which I haven't done yet, but I'll show you, is you can throw stuff out to make room for other things. So we have a bunch of oil gobblers that I don't want because I don't have a means to use them. So if we right click on the oil gobbler, we just toss it overboard. We just literally throw it out. So I'm going to get rid of the oil gobblers I've got on the boat. And you can also filter. So I can say, like, in this large store yard, I don't want oil gobblers. In this one, I don't want oil gobblers. In this one, I don't want oil gobblers. And it will prevent you from actually stockpiling in the first place. But at this point, it's already on the ship, so that doesn't really help. Alright, can you... Yeah. Stop grabbing them, please. The other thing I could do to help out is just to cook up a whole bunch of nibblers. I had mentioned doing that. Because that's going to use up 3 resources to turn into 1. Because it's 1 firewood, 2 fish into 1 meal. So that's a space saver. An odd way to save space, but still, I mean, it works. And all the oil gobblers I've tossed overboard to save room. We don't need them. Thank you for tuning in to Flotsam, which originally streamed live on Twitch. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rodamont.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you'd like to join my online gaming community on Discord, Rodamont.com has a link to it, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Special thank you to my Twitch subscribers, Patreon patrons, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. I hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, fellow survivors.